All right. Well, we're back. And I forgot that I left the frame on. Damn it. I still don't know why it does that. Okay, so when we finally, well, now that we're finally back, I think it's time to start doing a couple of side quests. More importantly, start doing a couple of bounties. Because you see, we were trying to do something last time. We were actually looking for another something down there. And I don't think that we can find it yet. We're also kind of swapping out party members all over the place. And I'm kind of hoping that eventually I can save up enough.
I say the gods chiseled you from lumber and dragon bone.
I'll take that, at least as far as my head's concerned.
Yeah, we're gonna do some bounties. We were also searching in the Hanging Sepulchre for something, and the problem is I don't know what it is. Because we need one last key, and I couldn't find it. I guess we can take one look before we leave. Because we're doing bounties, I figured that we'll spend all of that delicious bounty gold on, you know, getting artifacts and upping our power a bit. As far as I'm aware, though. So this is this is what we need to do. We need to find whatever goes there, but I can't find anything, unless it's actually in the Forgotten Mausoleum, maybe, which it could be. Let's check the Forgotten Mausoleum one last time. There is indeed something here. I just missed it the first time. There's a couple of somethings here.
You might find this interesting.
Nice. An armored figure standing under a gate featured prominently among the etchings that adorn the sarcophagus. The eulogy for the dead. Eulogy to Aesir, the gate. Am ne ought to be bragging needless now, but 'tis important that a keep counts how full of life, strong and devout Aesir wis. And for a Baratheon priest, together by his side, in glorious battles fought to Barath's honor, gutted countless undead with me spear. For near hand, 20 years, Aesir fought to keep shut the gates of hell. Surely they will crash open with his passing. Losh, Borthwyn, Laird of Heldengate. Wonder how they got someone to write all this. I'm actually kind of happy that I managed to say all of that in one try. Well, almost one try. I tried to do it again. Alright. As a reminder of what this quest is, we are trying to get into these to find an artifact to stop to give a Baratheon priest his final death. Barath is the Lord of the Dead. Also the Lord of Reincarnation. No, wait, that's a different god. No, Barath is in fact the Lord of the Dead. The skeleton stands rigid as stone and just as strong, eternally warping the crypt behind, or warding the crypt beyond. Call out his name, the Laird of Heldengate. The skeleton stands rigid as stone. Oh, sorry. Your words reverberate in the darkness, beckoning the skeleton back to life. Borthwyn, Lord of Helden Gate. The sound becomes a thrum riding the air as the soul essence coalesces and curls around you. It prickles along your skin before snaking for the skeleton's mouth. Empty eye sockets alight with flame. The skeleton shuddles and ratters, head bowing forward. The soul essence seeps into the door's seals. Let's see if we can get that artifact. Hello? The towering skeleton straightens his spine, and the sound of his bones shifting rattles around the cavern. A gilded sword rests strapped to his back, and in his hand he grips a massive flail with a heavy skull for a striking head.
Watcher.
Hey, you know me. Twin fires flicker in the pits of his blackened eye sockets, burning with deadly intent.
Been more than a middling life worth since my flails got bathed in bloody gore.
Long and last. Is a right fine pleasure jawing with someone who cons proper prose.
Same to you, my noble sir. 'Tis rare and seendal for a kinsman to cross my brood these undead days. What's a bra happening? But to still have a prestation to uphold. You can't, aye.
Hey, that's great. Somebody else does Isselmir's funny country talk.
I'm glad that I brought Aloth to this. The Death Guard glowers menacingly.
Speak, then perish. Listen, you've a cause from birth to fare here.
Out of death, cycles, doorways, mortality, and inevitability. That's what Barath is the god of. The Death Guard drags the spiked skull head of the immense flail over the ground, gouging the stone at his feet. Then he hefts the flail's chain over his bony shoulders. I couldn't be here if Barath didn't personally favor me. The skeleton stands still as death, magic billowing around him, burning up the air. For several moments he only stares. Then his teeth clack loudly, and he hefts the flail from his shoulders, swinging it just short of your throat.
So tell me what for the goddess would send ye. Swiftly. A button your next and last breath.
Oh, that +5 to party assist. Just barely. I learned of your history and so sought you out. The great Aesir, Adiran chosen of Barath, and slayer of Lucia Rivian. The Death Guard seethes at the mention of Riven's name. Rage, cold but violent, rattles up the skeleton's spine. With a bone-popping nod, he drops the skull's flail down to crater the ground.
Aye. Stay your death, then I will.
I must take the last stone tablet of your eulogy to the High Priest of Barath.
Aye then. I'll allow it. They priests need to be keeping the sacred rites of Barath alive. There it lies in my burial grave.
Woo! History! Thanks, dude. You're a bro. 'Tis too soon! Such pains cannot be fathomed. Wolves' teeth gnawing at my ribs. Burning fever, this devouring flames. A troth to vow cannot be broken to Barath, to slay the undead. Hunted Rivan, far to near, to deep in the dead fire. Recovered the sword of souls, and shoulda killed Riven in battle at Dusky Dial as I killed her here. But instead, I was struck sidelings. Forgot the current to the temple, sepulchres or near side. Ended lying in a grave, captive to the pallid night. Now I cannot keep a grip on the sword. It tells, and it will be taken. If in a die, wielded as a wound, hurt some cog and Barath. I cannot die in a fellow. Will not die, will not die, will not die. Him to see Riven suffer. Him toward Barath's secret weapon. Aways. Easier. Man, that makes a lot more sense now. Huh. He's not too literate, is he? Hey, Elsa. Okay, we have a few levels to go through, I think. Okay, so we got the eulogy. We can turn it in.
Coming along well, is it? It can be dangerous down there. So I read. I never went yet. But I will, after I die.
Did you know Ysir became a Death Guard?
Had heard, but knew no. Is it true? Ysir is a Death Guard. So, under the right duress, it can be done.
You want to become a Death Guard. That's why you're preparing a ritual to kill yourself.
Yes, the fate that awaits me. Then I will walk within the catacombs beneath the temple. Finally, I'll be one of Barath's chosen, blessed for always.
Huh.
You gotta get this fella to a brothel.
To live for death is a contradiction that only the great eel could appreciate.
That does make a weird amount of sense. Why do this? Surely you're more valuable to Barath alive and leading the flock.
Value and worth are not the same, no.
Hey, Super Beast, how you doing? Oh yeah, Pillars of Eternity is great. Slanting you a feeble smile, the priest checks the remainder of a nearby hourglass. Then he uncorks his goat-skinned flask and chokes down a deep swig.
We will speak again, after my acolyte has gouged my heart from my chest. The cutting and the chants will work.
Head tipped back, he closes his eyes as if he can hear the chanting already.
You'll see. All right. I will address your inquiries best as I can. So ask.
I've acquired the stone tablets containing Ysir's eulogy.
Give them here.
The priest's arm quivers from the weight of the stone-carved tablets. As he sets them down, his hands scan the grooved words. Have I seen the new Chernobylite game? Yeah, I've seen it. I think it... Oh, wait. You're not talking about Shadows of Chernobyl 2. Or sorry, Stalker 2, right? Chernobylite is... Wasn't it like a co-op multiplayer Stalker? I might be thinking of something else then.
Truly, you are Barath's champion. Yet you will not die soon. There is work ahead for you. I set these aside for you. Old keepsakes from another time.
Ruata's Walking Cloak. +1 to diplomacy. Hey, I like that one. +1 to survival, +15 to stride, with increases with survival skill. Yeah, I don't think I've seen it then. I've never been as big into the Stalker series. I know a lot of people definitely are, but it never grabbed me as well. I played the entire Metro series and, of course, the original Fallouts, but my interest in the sort of post-apocalyptic setting ended once the Fallout series stopped. Though, have you played Atom RPG Super Beast? I forget if I've asked you this already. I feel like I have. There's so many mods for Stalker nowadays too. It's hard to pick a specific one. I think I am going to go ahead and keep this on Safi. This is a good one. Ruata was born in the, into the Raparu caste of her tribe. Fostered by laborers, she was taught that her life of hard work would be but a prelude to her next life of duty, respect, and responsibility. All the same, she was not content to wait. Ruata set out from her tribe and wandered the Isles, taking but a single possession, her cloak. She lived off the land and hunted when able, growing in her acclaim as a tribeless curiosity and storyteller. She made friends and enemies in great abundance with nary a regret, for her path was always before her. Ruata's fate is unknown, but her name is often whispered among the Raparu, who learn to believe that not all paths are predetermined. And then finally, the Girdle of Mortal Protection. Which isn't as interesting. What does this do? Plus 2 to Constitution.
Barath holds you close, perhaps in helping you.
Checking an hourglass, he uncorks the goatskin flask and chokes down half its silvery contents. Let's go ahead and level. What's robust do? Nice. That'll make him tankier. An accuracy bonus is weird, but sure. Why not? I think that I really love the Pillars of Eternity leveling because it's entirely about what abilities you take. These are kind of meh, but I don't really begrudge them too much. I should give that cloak to Eder, actually. How much penetration? Three. Okay. It also increases damage by 20%, which isn't bad. Adair doesn't really need more tank, so I'm actually going to go ahead and give him that. So Super Beast, what have you been up to?
Not
There,
happening.
so. All right. I.
Well, that's one quest done. Forsaken cat. We're going to rescue all of the cats.
Each obstacle is a challenge we must answer. These are whetstones that sharpen us into fine blades.
The sword has no need for tears.
Candles and bombs. Used to work a farm, growing Vorless. Never thought I'd get out of there. Sorry. Thank you, ma'am.
Any chance you'd like to buy a lot of stuff? Jesus, a lot of loot. Still a bit mixed on how I feel about the whole, well, the way that shields or grimoires are treated now. Actually, we'll keep the shields. Because I don't know what we're missing in terms of shields. I know we are missing some stuff, though. Oh, give me that. We don't need exceptional great swords. We do need a superb warbow. Get rid of that shield. $27 million. That's a lot of money. A lot of moolah. Do we have anything else while we're here? Quests. So Eulogy for the Dead is now done. Oh, right. We have to figure out if we're going to take Jyoti with us. Is she's not in our party right now. Eloth, Jyoti. Yeah, it's fine. we're going to spy all of the Soul Seers. Because I want to see what this option turns into. And I will save before this goes off, but it'll be interesting at least. So there is that also a pillar?
This luminous Audra ought to be able to take my soul's watcher. What do you say?
Okay.
Hope you're keeping busy, Watcher. We're still running some small tests. Not quite ready for the real thing. What can I do for you?
Jyoti has some souls she'd like to give you.
Like might be a strong word for it, but I'll do it. If you can meet my conditions.
Surly, she crosses her arms over her chest.
It's a thoughtful gift? But why? What has brought this on?
God has shown me the coming end. Darkness will fall upon hell, beginning an extended season of death with no rebirth for any of us.
Alright, I knew I shouldn't have asked. How do you fit into this, Watcher?
Jyoti is a soul reaper. She can gather lost souls into her lantern and deliver them regularly to you.
But only if you promise to treat them well. Ensure their cycles continue in the natural manner.
Right. You do realize that the essence isn't actually a... Never mind. Thank you, Shorty. I promise to treat them with dignity. We can... put them in this device over here.
One last thing. How much is this gonna hurt? No, wait. Don't even tell me. Just lead the way.
Shoulders squared, Jyoti stalks up to the gleaming copper and Adra repository.
You ready for this grand merger of faith and science? Animancers, if you got any energy vision goggles, you might want to don them now. And if anyone's afraid of a little light show, I'd suggest you take a healthy step back.
She rubs her hands together, drubs her palms against her hips, and snatches up her lantern. Eager. Ready. She wiggles her shoulders and pops her neck, stands subtly widening. Be careful, please. Flushing prettily, she glances over her shoulder, just long enough to blow you a sloppy, wet-looking kiss.
Long as you're watching my back, I'll be fine.
As she exhales those last words, she presses one palm flat to the cold expanse of gem-like growth, fingers trembling, and like a firework going off, lights from her lantern flare blindingly bright. Electricity. No, hypercharged soul energy whips across the air, lashing open Jyoti's skin, traveling the pathway of 1,000 branching veins and capillaries. The strike bursts Jyoti's bloody from face to neck to arms and lower, as she screams, her voice a secondary crack across the sky. Release the souls!
I can't! Watcher, I can't do it! Stop me!
Her words choke off as she drops to her knees and throws her head back. Her hair floats up from her shoulders and wisps around her, charged and popping in the air. Sweating, shaking, bleeding, Jyoti struggles to tear herself from the charged Adra. As she falls back with a scream, a wave of souls is ripped from the Adra and absorbed straight into her lantern. The Adra cracks and shards fall to the ground.
Ugh, son of a god's darn motherless cur! That hurt worse than a back-to-back whooping from Uncle Angbert's quarterstaff. Thank God I'll never, ever be doing that again.
Chest heaving, Jyoti scrabbles for the Adra shards embedded in the ground. The crystal slick with blood from her palm, she shoves it into her pocket. Then she shakes her head.
Good God. I feel so very much.
That looked like it hurt.
It hurt all right. Hurt real good. Never have I felt anything so painful, nor so pleasurable in my whole...
She searches your face with wide, foreboding eyes.
I can feel it prickling under my skin. I've strived to do God's will ever since I was a little girl, huddling in the back of the barn, bathed in darkness. I just never knew reaping could feel so good. Look at my lantern shine, Watcher. Beautiful as a harvest moon dripping red with blood.
Her lips twist with a dark grimace. After a curt nod, she slides away. Huh. That's not ominous at all.
Yes, Captain. The pleasure is mine.
Hope you're keeping busy, Watcher. What can I do for you? Sure thing, Amica. Comes with the job, doesn't it?
Your accent, it doesn't sound very Valiant.
Well, a few years in a deer will do that to you. Up to your armpits in jungle mud, insects, and snotty nobles. Probably would have been better off talking to the bugs.
Seems like a strange place to run experiments.
It took us a few months to adapt. A few bad shocks too before we finished proofing the machinery against rain. I like to think it lends it all a little drama, no? Besides, how better to honor Helia than with invention?
Animancers aren't very popular in the Deerwood. Do the Huana give you trouble?
Oh, things are much different here. The Huana may not have the same passion for the field as the Republics, but we understand we're doing research, not sacrificing children to wolves or whatever it is the Deerwood believes. So, no riots. Fortunately, news out of the Deerwood doesn't mean much to this lot.
That was all.
For now, nay? No trouble if you think of anything else, Amica.
Speak your mind.
What can I do you for? I'm all ears. Tell me what's on your mind.
How are you feeling? Have you suffered any more recent nightmares?
Always. Not a day or night goes by that I don't glimpse the darkness. But that's all right. It calls to me. My duty and my God. It knows. I got a wildness in my blood, Watcher.
So, you're that much closer to achieving your purpose?
Oh, I am, Watcher.
She nods gravely, eyes swimming with shadows. When she lifts the lantern to her face, it rattles violently on its chain.
Can you hear them in there? The new souls I caught?
Long lashes, dark as a raven's wing, flutter close in apparent rapture as Jyoti tilts an ear to the lantern's glass and listens.
Already they're giving me such sweet, deathly dreams. I'm glad we talked.
Well, she's going a bit cuckoo. But that's okay. That's all just fine. Okay. Was that the end of her quest line? That was the end of her quest line. Hmm. Yeah, let's get salt on the wound done.
You go in first.
Geez, that is a weird... Oh. Someone calls out for your attention. You're wandering through the streets when a man approaches you, cutting through the crowd. You've never seen him, but the look in his eye suggests that he recognizes you. Watcher, let me through! A meadowfolk man emerges from the crowd, red-faced and wild-haired. He pays no mind to the irritated pedestrians glowering at him. His bright eyes are fixed on you. You're looking fervent as always, Litharn. Jyoti juts her chin in brusque greeting. In response, the missionary puffs out a breath. The faint trace of a smile forms on Adair's lips. A meadowfolk man emerges from the crowd, red-faced and wild-haired. He pays no mind to the irritated pedestrians glowering at him. His bright eyes are fixed on you. You're looking... Oh, sorry. Right. I've read all of this. Woo. Suppose that was a compliment coming from you. Indeed, I strive to follow the light and godliness. Of course it was. I mean, why wouldn't it be? Jyoti's words speak to innocence, but her grin is too rough, too wolfish. Then allow me to return the gesture. I'd say you seem darker than usual, Harvester. It shrouds you, all that death and heresy. Reckon I'll hold my tongue from now on? Jyoti immediately bristles. Ignoring her hard scowl, Litharn resettles his gaze on you. You're the one who saw the miracle. When Aethos rose at Cadnua, awe and conviction quiver in his voice. His rising was a tragedy. Every other man, woman, and child, all at the keep, died. But surely to be reborn in glory, don't you think? He grimaces, not entirely certain of his answer. Our people talk highly of you. It's no wonder Aethos chose you to witness his return. That's why I'm hoping you can help. The tiniest flicker of doubt dances across his face. He banishes it with a deep breath and launches into his tale. I've been having strange dreams. Oh god, not another one. A wheel that spins and spins. An orchard of koiki trees. Each grown from fallen fruit of the last. He scratches at his whiskered chin. Then, the spokes of the wheel break apart. The trees stop growing. Fruit falls and rots until the ground is covered with festering, stinking pulp. Somebody's been snacking before bedtime. Please, this is important, he frowns. In these dreams, I also see you, at the center of the wheel, in the middle of the orchard. You were there when Aethos rose, and you seem to follow every place he's been. He works his mouth into a fretful pout as he gets to the crux of his concerns. Athos has always meant rebirth and redemption, but so much death follows in his wake, both in the Saints' War and now here. Again. His wide eyes are full of questions. Is this what I sound like? Adair gives you a guilty grimace. He turns towards Letharn. Friend, I'd love to buy you a drink if it'd help. He shakes his head, the anxiety mounting behind his eyes. I need to know what this means. Please. Why are you coming to me with this? I never asked to speak for anyone. My people followed Athos to war once. I wonder sometimes if we failed him when we lost. Or if we did that the moment we laid hands on the blade. Please, I've seen more than anyone. You've got to have some idea of what this all means, and how to make more sense of it. Oh, that is a lot of options. Oh, that is a lot of options. Holy crap. Whew. I think... What are you guys feeling? Anyone got any particular opinions about what to tell this guy? I think I'm leaning more towards 7. Yeah, I think I'm going to lean more towards 7 here. Letharn nods, letting it sink in. I won't keep you, but you've given me a lot to think about. Thank you. He turns away and allows himself to melt into the crowd.
Moths have been eating through all my good clothes lately. Just realized why.
Why? It wouldn't happen to be on account of my lantern, would it?
I know you think it's funny, but the moths are so big here.
It's a divine light, meant to cut through the darkness. Of course it's gonna draw the biggest ones.
Oh, some of my pants wouldn't be polite to wear them in public anymore.
Under the waterfall, you say? Oh. Feel like we're about to be in a fight. Against a backdrop of jeering youths, a young woman raises her arms with an air of practiced drama. Before her, 2 men stand across from her, mirroring scowls.
You both attest that you have made all possible efforts to come to a peaceful...
The woman trails off as you approach, and you find yourself the sudden target of the crowd's attention.
Who is this Nasenale?
How many cousins do you have or so?
Nosy person.
Postenago. Does that look like any cousin of mine?
How should I know? Your kin lie with eels.
Orso glares at Laro and bites back whatever insult he had at the ready.
We have business. What do you want?
Business? Please, I know a formal challenge when I see one.
What's your words of? You want the Juana to know we're dueling?
Akira, the queen consigns murderers to the gullet.
Takehu wags an admonishing finger at the pair.
If I wanted the opinion of some tentacle-headed savage...
Laro grimaces at Takehu with a mixture of distaste and curiosity.
My bad so to the tribals. We should be free to settle matters on valiant terms.
Orso glances in your direction with annoyance. I suppose you have a good reason for the duel?
This street thug called my family a warren of corrupt inbreds. But is there a dung heap in all the world that does not have a little Valera cousin scratching through it?
Laro opens his arms wide and smiles to the milling crowd.
That wolf he calls mother would have us live out our days polishing Bardato silver.
We can either lie, we can bet on one of them, we can try and talk them out of it. Fuck it, 10 copper pieces on Laro. A round of cheers accompanies your declaration. The Bardato second accepts your wager, and Orso scowls in your direction.
Finoma, I am ready to cross swords if you are, Laro.
Gelarde, shall we resume?
The duelists square off and tentatively circle each other. Stocky Orso moves with heavy strides, while Laro takes precise, measured steps. Onlookers gather and press at the edges of the poorly defined arena. Their jeering lowers to expectant mutters. The duelist second brings forth their weapons. Oh, I like this. Hey, you all want to win? We're gonna bless Laro. Is this not working? There we go. Given the position of the onlookers and the duelists, there is only time to discreetly enchant one of them. What, really? Once the swords are delivered to their respective bearers, the second backs away in melancholy silence. The duelists cross their swords and bow in salute. The tranquil moment ends with a burst of motion. Despite their difference in size, the duelists seem evenly matched. Orso doesn't settle on an established form, but keeps pace with Laro's aggressive strikes. Gonna distract Orso. Despite their difference in size, the duelists seem even... Oh, sorry. Your words fail to hit the mark. Orso shakes his head and refocuses back on Laro. Orso and Laro trade fierce jabs, giving up any pretense of fighting to the crowd, or playing to the crowd. A hard downward thrust sends Laro's blade clattering to the ground. Without hesitation or an offering to yield, Orso runs his blade through Laro's heart. A collective gasp arises from the audience as Laro sinks to the ground. Well, he's dead.
Not bragging, or laughing anymore, are you, Laro?
Orso looks down at his bloody work. An uncertain expression crosses his face. I could have stopped this. These things do usually end with someone dying.
What's done is done. I will take shelter in the estate until this calms down. At least that's one less Bardato for us to worry about.
Orso frowns and signals his attendant to leave. His sister is going to be very unhappy.
If you told me a few years ago that I'd end up following you on another crazy errand, I'd have said you were out of your mind.
He gives you a dismissive gesture with his pipe hand.
Not because I got anything against you, more that trouble seems to come looking for you wherever you go. Yet, here we are again, probably on our way to die. Well, you already did, but me, I mean.
He cocks his head to one side and smiles. You didn't have anything better to do.
Yeah, I was getting sick of sleeping indoors and not having any broken bones. It's true. And wouldn't you know it, this time is shaping up to be crazier than the last one.
There is something accusatory behind Adair's eyes.
But I gotta say, I appreciate how you've handled things. Times like these, staying decent's not as easy as it sounds. And not that I don't got questions about your moral fiber, but you've surprised me.
Decent? Wasn't on purpose.
Maybe it wasn't. Guess I'm just glad things have gone the way they have then. I've been meaning to ask though, how is it you never seem to lose your way through all this? What is it tells you you're on the right path?
I have strong feelings about everything. Everything! No, we're not saying that. That is a lot of options, though. I think I am going to go with this, because that has been the logic I've been working with. I believe in helping people who need it. Sometimes it's more complicated, but often it's not.
Well, hard to argue with that. And I might get some strange looks if it did.
Adair heaves a sigh that sounds as if it's been building up for months. His smile is tight-lipped, wistful.
When I was a boy, things were simpler. Aethys was more like a character we read about in church.
Easier to worship a god when the worst traits are swept under the rug.
Yeah, I guess it was. Well, most stories had him helping folks or making the world work as it should.
He adopts the smile and gently points... He adopts the smile and gently pointed finger of a coaxing parent.
You pray to him. He might help you, too. There was no cost to it. No confusion about his will or followers taken into extremes. Following Aethys was right. Had no reason to question.
He pauses. It could be the light, but the creases around his eyes and mouth seem longer and deeper than your memory of them.
Do you think there's any way that following him could still be the right path? After all we've seen?
I love that. Number 5. Even Bareth wants us to follow him. Joke.
I suppose that's true. Not really a point in Aethys' favor, though. Anyway, I didn't mean for this to get depressing. I think this was just a long way of saying I appreciate the way you've guided things. Makes me feel like I'm doing some good, going with you.
He shakes his head with a look on his face like he just remembered a joke. Well, time to go give the sister the bad news. We can find Azali in her study.
Ah, yes. The newcomer. I thought you might visit.
Hello?
Lady Azali Bardato. Custom dictates, I say, at your service. But I have not the time for such lies.
She regards you with a cool expression, but stands with a fighter's poise.
You were present at the altercation where my Laro died.
For an instant, her gaze flicks downward, away from you.
When Valera and Bardato cross each other, only blood and sorrow remain.
Azali sighs, her gaze turning away. Do you see your families ever making peace?
Perhaps in time, if great Wodica judges us worthy of supporting the company. Word has spread fast about the little spectacle at the docks. You've certainly caught everyone's attention. Perhaps the Watcher of Cadnua and House Bardato can help one another.
What is it you want?
Queen's Beth whispers of a Valera plot against my family. Something grander than pointless duels. You are a newcomer to the Deadfire, uniquely positioned to loosen Valera tongues.
She taps her chin and regards you thoughtfully.
Zilli Valera strums a lute by the watchtowers. A meek-tempered boy. Fonder of song and drink than the family business. He might spill something of his family's affairs.
What if there's no plot against the Bardatos?
Then I will sleep better at night.
Azali shrugs, her brow furrowed.
My hopes do not hinge on being proven right at every turn.
Wouldn't the governor take an interest in this treachery?
The governor is interested in how much luminous Adra we can export. Nothing else matters. To that end, I look forward to the day when we won't need Valera thugs backing our interests.
You want me to rough him up?
Per complanca. Show more discretion than that. For now.
She ventures a smile. I'll go and see what I can get out of Zilli Valera.
Try not to alert the Valeras of our knowledge. That is the point of involving an outside agent.
Okay, what's this? Your attention is drawn to Azali's desk. Among the assorted ledgers and documents sits a brass seal, still dripping with heated wax. The drippings have dried into an almond-shaped pattern, which resembles the shape of an eye, the eye fringed with bird feathers. A nictitating membrane flicks across its surface in a barely perceptible wink.
Are you still with me?
Wow? Is that you? Or is that Hylia? About this feud with the Valera family.
Vitello doesn't make my affairs any easier with his wayward ambitions.
Azali motions for you to continue. Would you be willing to speak with Otello?
Oh dear. You're serious, aren't you?
She stifles a chuckle.
You think I'd put myself in pistol range of that old imp?
Maybe I could speak with him on your behalf. Convince him to see reason.
I think you overestimate how much of my trust you currently enjoy.
Huh.
More pleasant subjects, I hope. Bertello doesn't make my affairs any easier with his wayward ambitions.
It seems like a waste of your resources, though.
Doesn't it? This is no surprise to me.
Her eyebrows raise.
Fortunately, Bertello has fewer resources to expend than I do. More pleasant subjects, I hope.
Your family seems very well established here.
Ugh. My bank shoulders the costs of the Valiant Trading Company's operations in the Deadfire. It is said that no Valian may wipe themselves unless a Bardato's signature approves it first.
If that's true, we gotta stop shaking hands with him.
I'm certain you've touched worse, farmhand.
Why are the Bardatos and Valera feuding?
Because we do not belong in the same business. The Valeras are opportunists reaping the rewards of happenstance. They're little better than the pirates they're charged with slaying.
Gotcha. Capitalists, in other words. Well, you know what? I would also like to reap the values of happenstance. Like this chest right here.
Reflexes and charms should do the job.
However, I do not have the ability to pick locks. Can I grab this? Yeah. More books.
Darn! I don't know what happened. I'm usually faster than that, I swear.
No one's that bad at Orland's slap. And I've played against some real sorry folk.
Maybe I'm just the sorriest of the lot.
Something tells me that ain't it.
Think she might be playing you?
Oh, hello. Welcome to my shop. It's such a pleasure to see a new face.
Sansa bounces back on his heels, a wide grin plastered on his worn face.
How might I assist you?
What do you do here?
Oh, I am a cartographer. I make maps. I'm not half bad at it either. And may the gods forgive my immodesty for saying so. If you need a map of any settled region of the Deadfire, I am your man. And my commission rates are quite generous. It used to be I would take to the sea and do a bit of charting myself. But I haven't the time. Too many maps need making. A shame, too. There's a whole swath of the Deadfire I've yet to see. I'm quite keen to write a book, in fact. Oh, but I won't trouble you about that. Excuse my nattering on, won't you?
Do you sleep here?
Sometimes.
He touches a hand to his forehead and blushes scarlet from his neck to the tips of his ears.
Married to the work, you know. I just get so engrossed in my maps. And next I know, it's morning. Sharing a bed with a few maps is a good sight better than sharing with Caleb, I'll tell you that. He always hogs the blankets.
Who the heck is Caleb? Is that his dog? I'm gonna guess that's his dog. Nice dog.
You think so? He is a magnificent beast, isn't he?
Sansa's face splits into a broad grin, bright enough to light the room.
He's been a bit low lately. Between you and me, I think he's heartsick for the sea.
You said you're writing a book?
I'm putting together an explorer's account of the Deadfire. Or at least the part of it Queen Onekaza's tribe has laid claim to. My book will be the first of its kind. The Explorers Club will go mad for it. Or, well, that was the idea. It's a fiercely dangerous enterprise, in point of fact, and nobody will agree to chart the islands for me. You'd think ship captains would be a bold-hearted bunch. I offered fair recompense. I'm not exactly the most powerful fighter, or I do it all myself. Still, wouldn't it be wonderful? An explorer's guide to the Deadfire. Someday.
If it pays, I'll take the job.
Do you mean it? This is... Wow! I can't thank you enough. It's a lot of ground, I mean water to cover, and some of these islands are in very dangerous waters.
Despite his words, the gleeful expression on Sansa's face has not faded.
Don't worry, I planned it all out. We'll get your feet wet first. With a little experience under your belt, I'm sure you'll get a taste for it. Nothing will stop us. I mean, you. The idea is to explore all the islands that haven't been charted yet, or even named. That falls to you, Aimika. You can't tell me you've never wanted to name your own island? I thought we could start with the waters around the company outpost at Port Mage. There are 2 islands in the region, and nobody's taken much notice of them yet.
We're naming them all after parts of Nekataka. We already named one of them Serpent's Crown. The next one will be the Gullet. I don't care what it looks like.
Once you're back, I'll start filling in my map and adding your findings to the book. Oh, this will be wonderful. Welcome back. How might I assist? Certainly, certainly.
What has he got? A snakeskin grimoire. Consul Hot's corrosive skin. Oh, right. Adair, you want a survival thing? Boy, do I have a survival thing. It'll make you very speedy. Oh, and Jyoti. Have a ring. Don't take the wrong idea. Man, I need to get you some better weapons. What are you good with? You are good with the pike, the poleaxe, quarterstaff, and rod. In other words, I gotta get you a lot of weapons. Might as well visit the Valera estate as well. Who knows? Maybe they will offer me a little bit more to betray someone.
Good with my hands.
We'll see. They have an upstairs. The other estate didn't have an upstairs, I don't think. That was a long load time. Comparatively much longer than anything else. Doggo.
On it.
Am I supposed to play nanny? They listen to you, Martino. Enough. We have a guest.
Ah, a new face in the Valera halls.
Valera, I'm pretty sure I caught a member of your family dueling with Bardato. He nods solemnly.
You will forgive me if I'm distracted. Trouble and scandal plague my household. You've seen how these Bardatos rope us into conflict. It's a miracle that Ursa survived this long. Martino has need of muscle and brains outside of the Valera house.
Otello frowns towards his son. Tell me... Wait, I have some questions
I
first.
will entertain your curiosity.
What does your family do for the Valian Trading Company?
Valera ships escort goods and merchants from island to island across Deadfire. The Principe dogs show us their stern whenever they spot Valera colors on the horizon.
You're having some kind of trouble with the family next door?
Ach, the Bardato Bank shuts us out of investments and stifles our finances. This is the richest prospect on Iora, but we cannot grow our family business.
Can't make coin at the expense of others? Now that's a crying shame.
If you know a better way of squeezing profit out of these islands, I'm open to hearing it. Ezali is a rich thug, and someday she will get what's coming to her.
You mentioned something about a job?
Let me take point on this one, father.
Martino puts Otello on the back. Yeah, pats Otello on the back and turns to you with a more severe, business-like expression.
Some Royal Deadfire crews have lately taken to pirate hunting. One such crew has been boasting of their victories near the Wild Mare, singing their Rauatai songs and making our clients anxious. Hunting Principe dogs is our business. With all these problems with the Bardatos, now is not the time for competition from the Brass Citadel. It would be better if they took their business elsewhere.
I'll talk to these sailors for you.
Perfito. I am sure the words of the Great Watcher will save the day.
Martino punctuates his sing-song mockery with an exaggerated sigh.
Make sure those royal bastards understand the Queen's birth is Valera territory.
I will talk with them. No murders are going to be happening on my watch, except shopkeepers, which thankfully cannot happen on my watch. Not in this game. I would probably be murdering all the shopkeepers. Probably. Scribes. Hello, Mr. Scribe.
We're full up, I'm afraid. If you're looking for lodging, you'll have to hope there's room at the tavern.
Who's in charge here?
You'll find Otello Valera upstairs in his study.
How's business?
Well, as they say, business can always be better, yes? I'm sure I needn't bore you with the details.
The scribe bites her lower lip and diverts her gaze. Okay.
Woe to those who labor in the shadow, for nothing is hidden from Aethys' divine sight.
So, I guess... probably. Hello.
Ak, my little privateer. You have news for me?
Oh, okay, this is one of the bounty hunters. Or bounty givers? I'm actually not sure. Dewinu. The hell? Okay. Shark time.
What? Ha! Like that, do you?
Happy to oblige.
Huh? Take him down.
Hit me again and I'll hit you back.
No need for hitting again.
What do you need?
Was that a crit? That was a normal hit. Jeez.
Leave it to me.
Speak your mind. What say? No need to ask twice.
The hell was that? Just a random imp attack. Huh. How strange. No. Ah, there he is. Zilli Valera. Hello. This young man appears either to be composing or practicing a tune on his lute. He stops mid-strum, looking up at you with a friendly expression.
Apologies, lady, if I intrude upon your peace. Inspiration eludes me still. If you are after some scenery, I suggest the far end of the bridge. It smells better when the wind blows in from the sea, of course.
I'm trying to clear some Rautai and Sailor out of the tavern. Where does they like music?
Sounds like a Martino plan to me. Do I have the right of it?
Zilli flashes a sheepish grin and looks off in the direction of the Valera estate.
I could keep these sailors of yours diverted. Feel free to send them my way. And so, no bloodshed.
He smiles hopefully.
Never solve with violence what you can with music, I say.
Nice. However,
Something I can do for you? Oh, sorry to disappoint then. I'm having an imp of a time with this piece.
he offers you a sheepish grin. I hear you're one to talk about certain I hear you're the one to talk about certain kinds of jobs.
It was Persa, wasn't it? Is she recruiting again? You can tell her I'm not getting involved in whatever she's up to.
I'll tell her once I find her.
Go plot your mischief with Persa. She's got a room at the tavern down in the gullet. Just leave me out of it.
Neat. We didn't need to beat anything out of him. I really hope we can actually tell Persa that that he wants to be left out of it, and she'll have absolutely no context. And it'll be great.
Ado, my hunter. To what do I owe this delight?
Here you go.
To think that such a magnificent creature could also be a water-hoarding pest. Dragons are a complicated bunch.
He hefts the head and looks deeply into its eyes before passing you payment. Nice.
Agrasima, my friend. You will let me know if you are interested in more work, Ak?
I'm quite interested.
A marauder gang boss called Nomu broke free of custody along with the rest of his plunder buddies. It is said they wasted no time getting up to their old tricks. Prison is too kind for a pirate, so there is a bounty on Nomu's head. He and his ilk fled to the wilderness north of Neketaka.
I return with his head.
Ado, you return.
You don't seem to be having as much fun as the rest of the clientele.
The fun ran dry with the coin.
She manages a wan smile.
When the dancers see more than an empty purse, I will be a content Radora.
Alright, where are the rest of the sailors?
Now, what can I do for you?
Have you seen a group of Royal Deadfire Company soldiers in here?
Aye, they're up on the balcony outside. Noisy bunch.
He pinches the bridge of his nose and sighs.
If this is some kind of trading company squabble, take it elsewhere, right? My staff already have more work than they need. And blood's damnably difficult to get out of the rugs. Be seeing you.
Well, got good news for you. There will be no blood, thankfully.
Whose guts twist her around like her rusty corkscrew? Oh, the sailor who can't hold down Queeky Stew.
Hey, Shrimp.
Defiance Bay, am I right?
The sizable Amawa smiles and claps you on the shoulder. Hard. Of course, how could I forget? He gives you a look that is skeptical, if amused.
I was but a face in the crowd, but I remember the one who walked out of Hadred House alive.
He claps you on the shoulder again, harder, and this time you recognize inebriation behind his enthusiasm.
So, what brings you here, friend?
Martino Valera wants you out of Queensburg. Wait, what are you doing?
Captain gave us extra coin to occupy ourselves while we're on leave. We've been draining Valian wine cellars and trying to remember the words of Rauatai anthems. Loudly, as often as not.
I'm gonna need you and your friends to clear out.
I do not understand. We have done nothing wrong.
There's a musician playing his lute by the bridge. Best songs in the district. At first, the sailor looks like he's going to fire back with harsh language, but his expression softens.
Wonder if he plays any Rauatai songs. Come on, boys. Let's get out of here.
He gestures with a jerk of his head. Nice. That makes this easier. Now then, to the gullet. Specifically the hole? God, I hope I got this right. Ah, fantastic. Hey,
Need
Fierna.
something? What you need? Sure. Berta's cooked up the best grub the gullet has to offer. It's not actual grubs, though. Let me know if you...
Actual grubs. Forgetful night. Enjoyed by many a brave tavern patron, this fiery libation of disparate liquors is tasty and potent. It's the formidable hangover it imparts, however, has caused many a hard drinker to swear it off for good. +7 to crew morale. That's fun. I should probably visit Queen Unakaza while we're here as well.
What would you call the color on that meat? Ash?
Hey, Berta.
Why do you bother me, little Kith?
Yeah, I'm not little.
You're all little to me.
She squints, her broad, sloping brow wrinkling in consternation.
Little and squishy.
You enjoy working here?
No.
She hawks a fat gobbet of spit. It lands beside the food she's preparing and splatters. Ew.
The gullet reeks of illness. The beds are too small. An imp tried to nest in my hair. And Firna, the tavern keeper, refuses to give me more than 1 day off a month. How am I supposed to hunt when I am chained to this stove?
She scrunches her face into a grimace.
Maybe I'll become a pirate. Get myself a bird and an eye patch.
You should join my crew.
How do you mean?
We've need of a cook, and I admire your work.
I don't work for free.
Here. She examines your coins for a moment. They look tiny in her giant hands, almost like a child's playthings. She shrugs.
This will do. For now.
She pats her meat tenderizer thoughtfully and gives you a small nod. Later! We seem to have a knack for recruiting ogres. An armored man stands by the far wall, observing a more lightly clothed woman as she busies herself with a handful of wires. The room falls silent, and you find yourself the center of attention.
Bayer, I don't know this one.
She nods towards you.
We asked not to be disturbed. What are you doing here?
Sorry, they sent me here to take your drink order.
Yeah, well, we don't want anything. Get.
Did I F up?
Relax. Once is an accident. Twice, and you're a little too nosy for your own good.
The sizable man balls his fists and cracks his knuckles. Persa? Zilly mentioned you might know something about a Valera plan.
Damn it, Persa. Part of our deal was that you keep your mouth shut.
Zilly is family. I told him so he wouldn't try to get involved or stand in our way.
I know you're after Adra. Your partner squealed. The jig is up. The pair exchange quizzical looks. Bear recovers first and shakes his head.
I've had enough of this clown. Get out of the way, Persa.
He rolls up his sleeves and advances. Bear hefts his weapon to square off while Persa scrambles for cover. Okay, so she's at least going to live. That's okay.
Your bones will feed the land.
Good times. What are we dealing with? Spellwright, burglar, cutpurse, and a priest.
What? Like that.
We'll just focus the priest down.
Happy to oblige. Lavaru, be on seek.
Huh?
Mm-hmm. This seems like a perfect opportunity to use this. You, Mrs. Server, you may want to leave. There's a fight, and it's a bad one.
Stay behind me.
Man, I hope she lives through this. Eh. Good enough. Still don't really know what empowering does. Mm-hmm.
Huh?
Okay. Cool. I need to give her more healing potions, it seems.
Mm-hmm.
That guy's flat dead. Reap him, Jyoti. Reap him hard.
That's right.
Stay behind me.
That didn't interrupt him. I was hoping it would.
What say?
Hmm. Actually. Eat that burglar. Actually, very nearly killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it supposed to go away eventually? Apparently. Takes a few turns though. Okay. And get rid of this one. Blessing, man. Frickin' blessing.
Got it.
What do you need?
Can you do another one of those big hits? That didn't do as much as I had hoped. That's okay though.
Huh?
I still trust you.
Sure.
Speak your mind.
Eat that man's face.
At your service. It will be so.
Happy to oblige. Happy to oblige. What can I do you for?
Will do.
Vault schematics. This is a crudely drawn map of the vault underneath the Bardato estate. In spite of the rough schematic, notes, timetables, and arrow details, the patrol routes of guards with startling precision. They were going to do a heist.
You killed him. Let me go, and I won't say a word about what happened here.
Mm-hmm. Persa's voice quavers fearfully, and she's rooted to the spot as if paralyzed.
The Bardatos sent you, right? No need to kill me over a family tiff, eh?
Uh-huh. The Bardatos know about the plan, and this is your one chance to quit while you're ahead.
You killed Bayer and call yourself... Ikosi. I'm just having a hard time wrapping my head around that one. This job? I'm out. It never happened.
She slaps her palm in a dismissive fashion and holds them out to you.
The Elder's plan was for everyone to converge on the Bardato vault. You won't find me anywhere near the Bardato fortune. Can we agree that that's worth sparing my life?
Get out of here.
I think that would be best as well. consider me gone.
Two birds with one stone. All right, time to leave. Back to Queensbirth. And yeah, let's talk to the Berdatos first. They're probably going to be a bit happier with me than anyone else. Maybe. I still couldn't save their baby boy. They seem strangely unsurprised that he died, by the way. A bit ominous.
Hey.
My intelligence speaks of agitated whispers in the Valera household.
I wanted to talk to you about the Valera plot against your house.
Have on then, and don't leave me in suspense.
I learned from a burglar named Persa that there's a plot to break into your vault. A sickle of a smile spreads from cheek to cheek.
Now we know enough to sidestep this particular trap. Here, your deserving pay.
Thank you. Oh, and a Bardato hull. Ooh. +5 hull health, +2% travel speed.
I suggest we allow this heist to play out as intended. We will watch as our enemies walk into a trap. This will be the end of the Valera's short, ignoble reign in high society.
Why not just go over there and slaughter the Valeras?
It may well come to that. But until then, we have cause to be discreet. I would prefer not to make our dealings with the Huana uncomfortable.
All right, I'm with you. Where do we get started?
Speak to Captain Villamy. You will find him downstairs in the vault.
That's a lot of money they just paid me.
What do you
A lot of money. Oh. Rip that quest. I was wondering if we could only pick one.
Freedom of the estate doesn't mean you get to ignore me. I take it that Sally clued you into the plan?
The worry lines running down the guard's face speak to years of duty in combat. He scrutinizes you with a cautious, if friendly, expression.
You will wait in the shadows of the vault. We will bring up the rear with reinforcements. I'm open to questions until we begin execution of the plan.
What do we do once they arrive?
We do what comes naturally.
He touches the pommel of his sword. Message received.
Sally wants this handled cleanly, and without loose ends. I am sure that the thieves as well prefer direct confrontation over the alternative.
What's in this vault anyway?
A modest sum and a few cobwebs. We've relocated most of the wealth and valuables.
Relocated to where?
Beyond your reach, lady. Even if we're getting the drop on these Valera scum, I'm not about to stake a client's fortune on our success.
Why not just kill the Valeras now?
We cannot arm Otello with any indictment against the Bardatos. If he told Juana that we struck first, we will all end our days in the gullet.
I'm ready. Let's get started.
I don't intend on losing any good men or women tonight.
He looks you over and nods.
My guards will keep a low profile and watch out for the Valeras. Be sure you do the same.
We can do that. We should be able to do that.
Merla! Itzali is sharper than she lets on if she knew we were coming.
Surrender now, and I offer you mercy. I make no promises that I'll follow through.
There's no need for you to die today.
I'd be intrigued if I thought for a second that Itzali means to spare me.
She squeezes off a shot at Captain Valami. The bullet catches him in the arm, and he reels away with a pained cry.
For your lives, boys! At them!
Oh, you idiot. This is just you falling directly into their trap.
Worth and rough.
He's probably fine. Man, I really should have rested before I did this. The lack of maximum HP is not great.
What?
And Sephi's performing the role of a tank when she really shouldn't be. We are the Bonk Squad. Wait, no, we're not the Bonk Squad. We have Joti. We don't have Aloth.
Can't do, Fred.
Do we just want to start buffing? Yeah, why not? You know one spell that I really miss? We don't have Armor of the Faith. Or Armor of the Faithful, which was one of my favorite spells from the first game. Even at high levels, you could notice its effects. Things just went smoother with Armor of the Faithful.
Hmm?
Damn it. That was 53 damage. That's a good hit. Man, they really want Sephi to be...
At your service.
That was a good hit. That was a really, really good hit. This is also going to be a good hit. Damn it!
Yeah?
We lost the spell. It's going to be a while before we charge another one up like that. Fine. You guys want to hit Sephi so bad? Let's hit Sephi.
Happy to oblige. Lavru, be on seek.
Need something?
That was a Verdetto Helbedier. Good times.
Second try, I say.
Second try? You nearly killed one of them. Which might allow Adair to kill them instead, hopefully. Yeah, that'll teach you.
Need something?
Okay. Double chanters is just too stupid.
Need something?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Fear not the
hit them. The vault cracker's going down. I know that spell. That's the spell that Aloth uses to bonk people. Okay. Hit that one. Yeah, that's a good hit.
Yeah?
That was a good spell. Bonk.
It's a good thing her aim was about as shaky as her plan.
Vilami winces as he applies pressure to his wound.
Go on and head up to it, Sally. She'll want to hear what happened.
Are you going to be all right?
I've seen worse. I'll have someone fetch a qualified chirurgeon who knows how to pull out cheap bullets.
Vilami winces again and dismisses you. Man, they didn't really have that much, did they? Cool. I'm not going to try and rob the people that we just saved the estate of. That would be dumb. Very dumb.
Postinago. What fools these Valeras are to think I would not protect what is mine.
Azali inhales sharply.
Atello
Whoops.
has led his family into their present misfortune. Kill him, and what remains of his litter of jackals will destroy itself. It hardly needs to be said that I'll reward you handsomely, but I will say it all the same. Do we have a bargain?
I'm... No, I'm no assassin, it's Ollie.
It's not a difficult profession to pick up. Think on it.
Laro is gone, claimed before his time by Valera aggression.
Nera clutches her ledger over her heart. He will be missed, I'm sure.
There can be no peace while civilized kith turn on each other.
She turns her gaze away in thoughtful silence. Quiet night tonight. Don't even know who's in chat right now, because... Yeah.
I see a corpse. But I know it ain't real, 'cause you don't smell a death yet.
Okay. Joji's a little bit on the creepy side now. I know that she's a Reaper and all that, but gee.
Ahoy there. Any news worth telling?
I spoke with Captain Redora.
Has she sobered up yet? Or do we need to shake her by her ankles?
She was robbed. Don't hold it against her.
Robbed? Abidon's fist.
Blinking, Zamar glances past you and swallows.
Someone's feeling bold to prey on a captain in Queen's birth. Matters being what they are. Redora's commission is yours, if you can afford it.
Zamar smooths down his mustache and dislodges a small puff of sawdust. I might be interested in buying Redora's commission.
That'll be the Iron Thunderer. A cannon well deserved of her name. Maybe she doesn't stand up to Rauatai's standards, but she's got heart. For 1,000 pyres, she'll crack a hull, scour a sail, or splinter a deck like an imp with something to prove.
This is my reward for helping you?
1,000 is plenty less than I offered the seasoned captain. My hands are tied. Sorry.
Sure.
You will? I mean, you will.
He snatches your hand and shakes it with 2 quick pumps.
Your vessel will spit fire like a worm with a belly full of fire kelp.
Interesting. That wasn't really that much money for me.
On it.
Okay, I'm going to take a brief break. And I beg everyone in chat to do the same. Go get yourself something to eat. It's been a quiet night, and you all deserve it. All right, we're back.
Welcome back. Look.
I wanted to go ahead and buy some of this stuff. Gate crashers. Wanted to buy a lot of this stuff, actually. Hey there. We already read the stories of these. Grant's Reeling Blow. What does that do? Stunned for 1 round. Nice. What does stunned actually do? Okay, it's just a lot of... Look, I looked at stun to find out what stun did, and it tells me that it makes things stunned. I don't know what I expected. Okay, fine, whatever. No. I think I like my anonymity. +2 to intellect and +1 to religion. Oh, you can't upgrade these either. Oh yeah, what was the deal with Effigy's Husk? Grants. Oh right. Really weird weapon or armor. What does it upgrade with? Immune to perception afflictions or immune to might afflictions. %25 chance to attack enemy with a random affliction for 1 round when critically hit in melee. I assume it upgrades the healing? Yeah, it upgrades it. I don't actually have that many times where enemies heal in combat around me. That's the thing. Oh yeah, Sephi. Sephi also gets a scroll, I think. We need to go through more scrolls. Okay. And withdrawal is really useful. It's one of those spells that you don't ever expect to be that useful, but ends up being more useful than you'd expect. I just said the same thing twice. Well, hello! That's an unexpected turn of events. Welcome, everyone from the raid. Who is this?
Trick, and he says the Consueli.
Okay. Thank you for the raid. Kuriyuki Ieso. And the follow. I appreciate both. Just someone that was also playing Pillars? Ah, how are you enjoying it? Pillars 1 or Pillars 2? This is my first time, but this is a save that I imported from the first game after completing pretty much everything in the first game. So a lot of fun stuff happens. What are we still doing here? First time playing Pillars 1. Oh, how are you enjoying that? That's a trip. definitely has a better story so far, but the second one has a lot going for it in other areas. It's a lot more polished than the first game. Your chat convinced you to play it on hard plus expert on your first time playing the game. Oh, that's a rough experience. How did they manage to do that? What did they bribe you with? Who did they hold hostage? And hello, Showtime Shogun. And anyone else who came in with Kuro. We play primarily CRPGs here, so if anyone is interested in this sort of genre as a whole, feel free to take a look around some of my other stuff. We're also playing Arcanum on weekends, and we're about halfway through that. I want to say halfway, but I've never played Arcanum all the way through. Oh, God. What are we doing here? Hold up. Quest log, save me. As you can see, we've gone through a lot of quests in the area. You're enjoying it? You hate easy? I feel like you are really abusing the pause button, right? Like, you're just slamming it all the time. Because you need to do that on hard. You need to constantly be having someone do something. It turns into a turn-based game, which is great because they added turn-based in the second game. Oh yeah, good. Then you're playing it correctly. Later on, that was one of the things I didn't like about Pillars 1 was eventually the game got so easy because, well, I don't know. Wait, also, Kuro, I gotta ask a really important question. Do you have the DLC already? Because if you don't have the DLC, you should totally get the DLC. The DLC is such great content. Reminds you of KOTOR 2. I could see that. Well, actually, I could see that if I had ever played KOTOR 2. At some point, it was on my list of games to play, but the fire devoured it, along with many other games. Oh, God. I don't know what we're doing. Oh, right. You know what? I remember what we're doing. We're visiting the Queen. Okay, yeah. So the reason I ask about the DLC is because the DLC has some major story elements that do become relevant for the second game. And more importantly, have some just one of the best quests in the game, or like one of the best main stories. And even more importantly than that, you can completely miss it if you just do the main story of the first game because you can't go back for it. Let's just say there's an entire ending locked in the DLC. It's a really cool ending too, if you do it right. Where's the Queen? Hold up. Prince Aru... Hey.
Your coming is a favorable omen already.
How's that?
You happen by a time when our rivals bicker and tear at each other's throats, bringing Ngati's chosen on your trek up the mountain.
He nods to Takehu with approval.
It does not take a priest to see how the gods send us an outsider to dig under the skin of our enemies.
You know, it always struck me as a little bit odd that they're just, like, okay, there doesn't seem to be any racism in the Pillars of Eternity world, which is great, but it does seem a little bit strange. Especially when you have people like Godlike wandering around. Like, you'd expect some level of bullying at some point, right? Because look at their heads. I guess it might be because they are actually considered, you know, godlike, touched by the gods, so they might be worshipped instead? Not sure. You just never hear about it. You don't seem to take your rivals very seriously.
How can I when they posture and peck like a pair of kata birds? I will not paddle around the island. My sister wants to know if you are as useful as you are disruptive. She trusts me to judge this.
You think that games like Elder Scrolls and Dragon Age just push the racism so far that we've come a long way without realizing it? Maybe, but there are certain games that use that racism to tell their story in a way that actually makes sense. I was talking about Arcanum earlier. Arcanum uses its racism in an extremely notable way by emphasizing the physical differences between the races. The racism there is less about, oh, you're like, your skin color is different, and more, we literally live thousands of years longer. Why would we think the same as you? Although the elves in Arcanum are interesting in that they kind of have sort of like a massive anti-racism vibe going on, where people are different, yes, but they were born different for a reason, and we should respect that. Which is great. I actually love the elves for it. Then you've got the counter side of it, which is the dark elves, which are just like basically elf supremacists. So they ended up splitting away from the elves early on. And I'm getting into spoiler territory. Go play Arcanum. But yeah, Arcanum uses it very well. I don't think that it's necessarily a downside to have it as long as you're using it to serve the story. If you're not using it to serve the story, which I might add Dragon Age Origins kind of does, then yeah. I don't know. Dragon Age always kind of struck me as it has racism, but it has racism because it's expected to have it, which is sort of dumb. If you're going to have it, you make use of it.
Ikira, but I hear whispers that you visited the Hazanui's Adra lighthouse and survived.
Huh.
Too much has happened for you to waste words with the royal brother. From now on, you work with Onikaza as an honored guest of her rooftop garden. Only, be kind to her cats. If you have questions, the royal brother will hear you.
Weirdly, they do actually have something similar now that I think about it, because they have the whole situation with the mages, which is interesting. Okay, I want to discuss the black market in the gullet.
My sister keeps a tight grip on Nekataka, but the filth of it drips down her palm and into the gullet.
He opens his hand for emphasis and wipes it across his shoulder.
You have some knowledge of Nekataka already. They say you have explored the city beneath the city.
Oh yeah, I've killed everything there. There was a giant grub down there. You probably should have killed that yourself, dude.
Under our noses, I say. Do foreigners smuggle contraband and pay the Rapau for their silence?
By the way, when I say giant grub, I mean this thing could have swallowed this entire hull whole.
How do they avoid the inspectors? Who is responsible? This cannot have gone unseen by all.
Afraid I didn't find anything.
Nothing? Tekehu, what say?
We stumbled on evidence of abandoned Roparu settlements, but nothing more.
Hey, Tekehu! He's a good boy.
I cannot say that I desire to send you to worse places than the gullet, but...
Aruihi trails off and scratches the back of his head. Also, we gained a crap ton of experience for that. I'm really surprised. Go on.
Does the name Ukaizo mean anything to you?
An old mosaic beneath the city depicts Ukaizo.
Ikira, then the city's bowel hides more than I credit.
Do you not see the poleaxe on my back right now?
Ukaizo was the home of the Huana before cataclysm and destruction wiped the island from the dead fire. That is the story.
Sorry, the poleaxe is what I got down there. It's a great poleaxe.
Story or no, I make no secret that we search for Ukaizo.
So, Koriyuki, how far are you through Pillars of Eternity so far? Have you gotten to the first major storyline? Specifically, the Baron? Please tell me. I want to hear what you think of that. It's such a cool idea. Okay, so you don't know that much yet.
Our tribes are spread across many isles, but it is Ukaizo which binds us. Ukaizo and the knowledge that we must return. To that end, a local cartographer secured a lead. A breadcrumb to a breadcrumb, I say.
Still working on it, Zatara. Still not sure why it doesn't play. it's supposed to be able to play the honk. For those who are new, which is pretty much everyone who came with the raid, that was a sound effect, and the sound effects are currently broken, so I'm still trying to figure out why the heck and it's not a bot problem. It is very distinctly a hardware problem. Well, yeah, what did you expect? You got 0 logs.
I sent an expedition to Matario Cozy, one of the Sanctuary Isles. They were to retrieve evidence of our lost homeland. They have yet to return.
That reminds me, that's another thing I need to fix. I think I broke log gain. And a lot of other things that require being online. Like, you know, the fire. Sanctuary Isles?
They were sites where our ancestors grouped in terms of crisis. Constants in changing seas. You have the cartographer Atepo to thank. He wanders the Western Shrine if you would know more.
Interesting. I would like to meet with this guy. We're making a map. How has the island remained hidden all this time?
A question for those with years to gather reeds and scribe their thoughts.
Aruihi smooths back his hair and sighs.
It might be that someone or something on the island does not wish to be found. In better times than these, I would have been happy to oblige.
Okay, my opinion, island's on something that moves. And it's going to be one of those giant sea monsters that we heard about in the first game. Because I want that to be true. What makes you think that Matare Okozi contains evidence of Ukaizo?
The Sanctuary Isles give comfort and guidance to sailors on the long journey home.
Jeez, that whole sentence, the ones that I just uttered, was a monster to get through.
I am hoping the island can remember its purpose and return us to the home we lost.
Should I expect any resistance?
The trading companies would not have thought to look for Matario Cozy, but now they are vultures to carrion. I do not doubt that our rivals race for the same thing, all while we fall behind.
What makes you think that... Oh, sorry.
Ikira, then you are ready to depart?
I trust you'll relay my helpfulness to the Queen.
Naturally, I say. My sister remembers her friends. I remember her enemies. To Kehu, I trust you are going. I want the tribes to know that Ngati's chosen stood among those who threw open the gates of Ukaizo.
He turns a hopeful glance to Takehu.
I make no promises of dirtying my hands in some fetid jungle, but I do not protest a calm voyage.
Before you go.
Aruihi lowers his tone and glances to his left and right.
That did seem like too nice a way to end it.
The expedition. I have reason to believe they will not be returning to Nekataka.
So you are sending me to certain death.
You forget yourself, but I am more forgiving than my sister. We found this at the palace doorstep, cut from the robe of the expedition leader.
He reaches into his pocket and draws forth a wad of red-stained bark cloth.
One mystery heaped on another, I say.
He drags his thumb over the cloth and frowns to himself. Who could have sent this?
If you learn in your travels, I hope you will tell me. The crown has grown too accustomed to warnings, I say.
He thumbs the fabric and frowns. Let me see that. I might be able to learn something from it. Nodding, he relinquishes the scrap. A fragment of essence clings to the fabric like a thread woven too tightly to be unraveled. Traces tower above you, and ropey vines stretch like tentacles across a marshy ruin. It takes all of your strength to trudge through the hip-deep water. You glance over your shoulder, but the women and men of your company aren't there. Then, a shape moves off into the distance. You draw your weapon, feeling now more alone than ever. The vision departs, leaving you with a deep pit in your stomach and the phantom sensation that nothing has gone as it should have. The prince regards you expectantly. Nature is restless on this island, but I can guess nothing more.
I suspected this, as you say. Take care if you alight on Matario Cozy. My fear is that the island is sanctuary no more. Prepare yourself for a hard voyage northeast of Nekataka. Matario Okozi is nestled in the Kua Rokuhu Islands, in the midst of a landmass that resembles a storm, like the fall of Ukaizo locked in time.
Aruihi bites his thumbnail and turns away, lost in thought.
Certain death it is, then.
Hey, it's been a long time since we've done a suicide mission. Mass Effect was years ago. Never did end up playing Mass Effect 3. Keep being told to stay away from it. Okay. Wait, we were still looking for a sister. Hold up. Where is his sister? Also, apparently Takehu made that. Oh, hello. What is this? Hello. You meet a tall, brown-haired man dressed in full plate mail. That might not normally catch your eye, but his mail is unusual, colored a deep green and emblazoned with the image of a golden tree. Hand on the pommel of his sword, he waves the crowd, watches the crowd go by with keen eyes, relaxed yet fully alert. He narrows his eyes when he spots you.
What do you need of me?
He looks at you warily, as if he is deciding whether you are a snake that might bite.
Well?
Tell me about yourself. He's initially hesitant, unsure of your intent. Eyes narrowed, he sizes you up, then nods. Interesting armor you have there.
I suppose it is. Are you familiar with the shield bearers of St. Elka? We are a paladin order. Word of our order travels far then. Good.
He clears his throat dramatically.
I am the son of a disgraced noble family. My father and brothers were executed for treason when I was a boy. Rightfully so, I must add. And my mother, sister, and I were thrown out on the street. All we had to our names was a trunk full of heirlooms. One of them was this suit of armor, which belonged to my eldest brother. Now I endeavor to live up to its promise and redeem my family's honor. That's the long and short of it, really.
Can you teach me what you've learned as a member of the Shield Bearers?
Well, you would need to become a shield bearer yourself to really learn it all. But I suppose I can teach you a thing or two as we stand here. The privilege will run you 3,000 copper, however.
Yeah, sure.
My thanks.
He lays 2 heavy sandbags on your shoulders and runs you through a series of drills designed to increase your strength and agility while dressed in full plate mail. Confident you've learned enough to continue training on your own, he gives you a hearty clap on the shoulder and wishes you well on your journey. Neat. What does that put me up to now? Not bad. Improved athletics. Oh, what is that? Yeah, some clothing. Hamenga Makapu, defender of his people. Panamu Birdscorn, the greatest of explorers. Makarama the Buoyant, beloved of Ngati. The wife requires attention. You're off to deliver said attention. Have a fantastic stream. I certainly will. Thank you for the raid. I do appreciate it. Mass Effect 3 is good. Don't listen to the haters. It just doesn't have a satisfying ending. I might consider taking a look at it.
Barati pays coin to feed the great eel.
Hey, Barati.
He smells one touched by the great eel, does Barati.
A sizable Amawa tilts his head up and looks down his nose at you, flaring his nostrils with hungry interest.
You are a woman who sits across a fire with death. Akira?
The Pallid Knight and I are on familiar terms, yes. He nods, clasping his hand with quiet delight.
For glutting mighty Tangaloa and hurling foes into their next life, Barati can offer payment. Coins for feeding hungry gods. Akira?
You collect bounties?
Rewarding those who appease the great eel. This is Barati's cause.
Jesus, so many
May
bounties.
the beasts of the Dreaming Lands never know famine.
Barati inclines his head and touches his brow, holding the pose with deep reverence. What bounties do you have available?
Tangaloa rolls a hungry eye toward Dichila, a Valian captain who scouts for luminous Adra in sacred lands.
Barati squeezes his knuckles until they are bone white. I've already dealt with her, actually.
With joy, not hunger, does the great eel lash its mighty tail. Dichila has sated the beast for now.
What bounties do you have available?
The jaws of Tangaloa gnash about a Rauatayan captain named Ohairo. His cannon fire echoes in the ears of slumbering gods. The beast cries out for a more restful dead fire.
I'll take the bounty.
Akira, you chose wisely. Ohairo sails the junk Stone Anchor, south of the Kua-o-Rikuhu island chain due east of Nekitaka. The gods will thank you for quieter seas.
Barati inclines his head and touches his brow. Before I go, I had some questions.
Ask, but do not keep the great eel waiting.
Never mind.
My brothers and sisters have set sail for Nekitaka.
I thought the tribes needed them to calm the weather.
A greater storm surrounds this place. We must answer the call of the Kahanga. If the outsiders do not trample us first, the Green God will surely do it for them.
Do not speak this way, my love.
The green guy. Oh, they're talking about... Right. Spoilers. Still looking for the queen.
Will do.
While Aruihi's collection is impressive, few of the blades are actually sharp. Whatever creature these jaws belonged to was clearly massive. Big old fish. Okay, where the hell's the queen?
I've got it.
What pages lie strewn between the book hold a strange arrangement of letters, not all of them in the Huana alphabet. There's another one of yours.
On it.
Motes of light dart through the winding streams of water like schools of fish. Hey. Hey, Onikaza. What's up?
It is high time we spoke away from the exhaustive filter of the court.
The queen has affected a far more relaxed posture. A pair of tigers lounge indolently beside her seat.
My children, Kahopa and Tangaloa. It is to them that I answer when dignitaries do not pound at my door.
She pats the head of the massive tigers, smiling as they lean into the gesture.
I think I speak for all of us when I say we'd be honored to pet your children.
Go on, Eder. You take the honors.
Trick with cats, of course, is you gotta ignore them first. Get them interested.
Adair rocks back and forth on his heels, averting the gaze from the cats. Yet every few seconds he slips up and peeks at them.
We are of one mind. My mother taught me to bait an enemy into the open. Give it comfort and confidence.
Onikaza smiles up at Adair before returning her focus to you.
A messenger from the jaws of Tangaloa speaks with the voice of wisdom and change, I say.
She raises her brows at you.
It is fitting that yours should be the voice that tells of Hasongo's fate. What did you see there?
He really does. Everything that he can pet, he will pet. Some Naga occupied the colony after Aethas drained the Adra. I let them live.
The snakes are on edge. Where comes this new boldness?
Anakaza thumbs her chin and narrows her eyes.
Far be it for me to complain if they make trouble for outsiders.
This is a wariness to her thoughts that she doesn't bother to hide.
What of Aethys? If you know why he terrorizes the Deadfire, speak on.
He needs more luminous Adra. Magrin's teeth is the next logical step. Tapping her chin, Anakaza nods and weighs the matter. At length, her even expression spreads into a pleased and knowing smile.
If Aethys makes for Magrin's teeth, I say the Rathun will grind him to dust for the praise of their warrior matron.
Her brow rises with interest.
Even if they fail, it will be an enemy cleared for my plate. This is the gratitude of Nagati, I say.
Rathun?
The fiery children of Magrin devoted to their mother with a fanatic zeal. Bothersome, but the least of my troubles now. From Port Mage to Hasongo to Magrin's teeth, Aethys follows a rich vein of Adra. It takes him northeast to more interesting territory. In the deepest memory of the tribes, we have told stories of Magrin's teeth. Embellished sailors' fables, Akira, but not without some truth. My people speak of treacherous seas, lakes of fire, and the ancient warriors hammered to life on Magrin's anvil.
Magrin isn't known for having an anvil, though. Anakaza props her chin in her fist and looks you up and down.
Ashen Maw is the grandest and most accessible of the peaks. It is the sharpest tooth in Magrin's jaw. Prepare yourself for a fight.
Any chance of support ships to accompany the Defiant?
Akira, would that our resources were not so entangled in other parts. I cannot send ships to Magrin's teeth any more than I would send paper dolls to a furnace.
She arches her fingers together, staring intently at the point in space where they meet.
If you make preparations in Nekataka, I say we can help each other.
She sits up straighter and regards you with a level expression.
I must keep the city's peace, and I have only so many arms and eyes. While the Deadfire screams, I would see Nekataka outlast the storm to come.
What do you need from me?
What I need is a lasting peace that will outlive my dynasty. But I will accept peace of mind for now. What do you know of my water shapers, Herald of Bareth?
Takehu, thoughts?
I say we are artists, but when diplomacy fails, we will become something more.
Takehu crosses his arms and smirks at Anakaza.
When, Takehu? Not if?
Anakaza raises her brow, but doesn't press the matter.
My water shapers are the levy holding back Rawatai's advance. An adept standing at the prow of a war canoe is enough to send the fleet scrambling for the shallows.
She eases back, languid and satisfied.
This reminds me. I owe the Hazanui a basket of koiki in remembrance of the Battle of Nekaro Atoll.
She snaps her fingers and nods to an attendant who scurries off. Poking the hornet's nest?
That is Aruihi's job, but Akira, there is a side of diplomacy which I enjoy.
Anakaza winks.
While the problems of Aethys and overindulgent admirals plague these waters, I have summoned the masters of water shaping to Nekataka. Now would be the time to confer with Guildmaster Myru, but she does not answer my summons.
Do you think something is wrong?
It is too early to grow a forest from this coconut, but I would not dispatch you if I felt at ease. The guild can suffer no setbacks. If Myru shirks her duties, her queen would know the reason.
She stares off into the distance and sighs, her gaze unfixed.
Nagati, do not abandon us now.
Anagaza turns her gaze back to you and flinches. This was not a thought she intended to share. Hey, 20,000 XP will do that. Go ahead and level. Gotta feel the power of religion. This is just too good of a buff to let go. And I will grab the fiery pillar. Another bunch of athletics, more intimidate. So he can't. Spirit Frenzy, while active, attacks can stagger foes. Ghostly spirits spin outwards when activated, causing freeze damage and terrify. Yeah, that sounds like something he'd do. And Adair. Man, we gotta get better plate mail for Adair. Not that he's ever been hurting for durability. He already has his extra set. This is the first game that I've had that I actually want to use the extra sets. Reduces the initiative penalty when switching weapons. Huh. How much does it increase by? +1. Okay. Gonna go ahead and grab that. And that. Adair is turning into quite the monster, able to take on entire groups of enemies on his own. Weapon summoning spellcast. Resist the effect of hostile spells. That seems pretty useful. And grab that too, because when lightning fails us, we use ice. I really should use Sleight of Hand more often. Granting the energized. What does this do? Devastates enemies with a powerful blast of cold air that inflicts freeze and crush damage with very high penetration. How much penetration are we talking? 10. That's quite a lot. That's going to work on enemies that are all but immune. What does this do? Now possesses sweeping area attack. I think I'll grab that over this. This costs so much that it's almost not worth using due to our Scold ability. We're getting some really high level stuff though. I'm happy. All right. We have 7 minutes left, and I might as well just go ahead and end it a little bit early, since we're not going to get into a new quest for a while. Sounds like we're going to be going out and looking around at Magrin's Teeth, but also for a couple of other things. So, thank you, everyone. Thank you especially, Kuruyuki, for the raid and the follow. I hope that everyone that came by Kuruyuki's place, or from Kuruyuki's, is interested in taking another look at me later on. Might go ahead and check out his stream at some point and see what else we can find. Anyway, yeah, we're going to go ahead and end it here. If anyone would like to see more of this, the follow button exists for a reason. And where's the button? There we go. Okay, that's the right button. Thank you, everyone who has been supporting me all this time. Patreon supporters included. 10 Ace Games, Zevgrin, Slime Hunter, Walks with Gorillas, my dad, Gremlin Kev, Desalona, Miss Mango Plays, NBFF, Alpha Mango, and Kawoke for continuing to support the stream. Apologies for the broken bot this session. I am going to get that fixed as soon as I can, as I probably should have done a little bit more testing when I put it in. Anyway, I'm going to see you guys all later and send you guys all off to someone else who I don't even know yet. Who are they? What is their name? Oh geez, Roseguard has been doing a lot of fun stuff. You know what? We'll send you to Shanty, who's doing some Greedfall for the first time. Keep the RPG train going. Alright. Until next time, I hope you all have a safe trip through the Dark Forest. Bye!